It was a Saturday in November, the kind of afternoon that arrives early and dark in the west of England, the light already going pale and thin before tea time, the fields settling into that particular gray-green quiet that happens when the season turns. In Exwick, a quiet residential neighborhood on the edge of Exeter in Devon, a 14-year-old girl named Kate Bushell was getting ready to go out. She had started her day the way most teenagers start a good Saturday. She had gone into Exeter with her mother, Suzanne. They went shopping. Kate picked up a CD at the Virgin Megastore on Sidwell Street, and she bought a comic book for her older brother Tim, whose birthday was coming up. She never got to give it to him. The afternoon passed quietly at home. Then, around 4:30, Kate set off from her house on Burrator Drive to do a small favor for a neighbor. While the neighbors were away, Kate had agreed to walk their Jack Russell Terrier, a little dog named Gemma. It was the kind of errand that sounds so ordinary it barely registers. A girl, a dog, a late autumn afternoon, a lane she knew well. The route Kate walked took her along Exwick Lane, a largely rural road running from the edge of the housing estate out toward Whitestone Cross and the hamlet of Natterwater beyond it. Locals used it as a cut-through. Dog walkers used it regularly. To anyone from outside the area, it was the kind of place you would never find without being shown. At 4:50 in the afternoon, Kate was seen alive for the last time. A witness spotted her near a layby close to the Whitestone Cross end of Exwick Lane. Kate was walking Gemma, but the witness noticed something else at the same time. A small blue car, parked in the layby beside the nearby stables. A man was standing with the car. He was described as white, aged somewhere between 30 and 40, of average build and average height, clean-shaven, with dark collar-length hair. No one who gave that description ever identified him. He was never traced. Somewhere between 5 and 7 that evening, multiple witnesses reported seeing a man running fast, in the Farm Hill and Cornflower Hill area of Exwick, which lies close to the lane.
He was not walking, he was not jogging, he was running, and witnesses found it unusual enough to remember. That man has never been traced either. At 5:30, a small dog was spotted running loose from a gateway at the base of a field off Exwick Lane. The dog was Gemma. She was alone. Kate's family began to worry when she did not come home. Her father joined the search. At around 7:30 that evening, following inquiries through the area, Kate was found. Her body was in the field. She had died from a catastrophic injury to her neck, a single devastating wound caused by a blade at least 6 inches long. Her jogging trousers had been pulled down. DNA and forensic examination did not confirm sexual assault, and police have never publicly established a definitive motive for her killing. She was 14 years old. Devon and Cornwall police launched an immediate major investigation. In the days and weeks that followed, officers pieced together Kate's final movements through witness accounts. 2 key details remained unresolved from the beginning, and remain unresolved to this day. The identity of the man by the blue car, and the identity of the man seen running in the area that evening. Police also recovered unidentified orange fibers from the scene. Those fibers have never been matched. Detectives who have worked the case over the years have consistently pointed to the significance of the location. Exwick Lane was not the kind of place you stumbled across. It was not visible from the main road. It was not on any map that a tourist or a stranger to the area would naturally use. It was a local route, a shortcut that locals knew about, that dog walkers used, that the community had made their own. As Detective Inspector Back stated publicly, the murder location has huge significance because it is not common to anyone from outside of the area. The belief has been consistent across the investigation that the killer either lived locally or had strong connections to friends or family who did. Someone who knew that lane, someone who understood the field, the gateway, the rhythm of who walked there and when.
In the years since Kate's murder, true crime researchers and retired detectives have drawn attention to a series of other cases involving lone women who were killed while walking their dogs in isolated rural settings across the West Country. The connections between these cases have never been officially confirmed, but the pattern has been noted persistently enough that it cannot be dismissed without examination. The first is the case of Lynn Bryant, also known as Linda Bryant, who was murdered in October 1998 in Cornwall, approximately 90 miles from Exwick. Lynn was out walking her dog when she was attacked in daylight in an isolated rural area. She was stabbed. Her dog was left completely unharmed. The parallels with Kate's case are precise enough to have drawn significant attention. The rural setting, the daylight attack, the knife, the dog left uninjured at the scene. Lynn's murder also remains unsolved. The second case is that of Helen Fleet, who was murdered in March 1987 in Whirlbury Woods in Weston-super-Mare, a decade before Kate and roughly 50 miles away. Helen was out walking her dogs when she was found stabbed and beaten to death. Another isolated location, another woman alone with her animals, another case that was never solved. 3 women, 3 dogs left alive and unharmed, 3 knife attacks in isolated rural locations across the West Country spanning a decade. Police have never officially confirmed any connection between the cases, but the investigators and analysts who have studied them closely have never been able to fully dismiss it either. The question has hung in the air for over 30 years. Was there someone moving through the West Country during this period who killed not once, but several times, in circumstances so similar they could not be coincidence? No definitive answer has ever been given. Kate Bushell's case is one of the longest-running unsolved child murder investigations in Devon's history. The people who knew her mother Suzanne, her brother Tim, the neighbor she helped, the friends she went to school with, have carried this without resolution for more than a quarter of a century. They have waited for a knock on a door, a phone call, a breakthrough. They are still waiting. The man by the blue car on Exwick Lane on the afternoon of the 15th of November 1997. The man running fast through Farm Hill as the light failed. The orange fibers found at the scene that have never been matched. These are the threads that remain. And somewhere, in a memory, in a conscience, in a detail someone has held back for reasons they may not fully understand anymore, the answer to what happened to Kate Bushell may still exist. If you have any information about the murder of Kate Bushell, contact Devon and Cornflower